So, my fiance and I have a trip to Philadelphia this weekend for a friend's wedding. So, I'm going to take you along with me for a little Philly reading vlog and taking you behind the scenes to start with my upstairs bookshelf, kind of picking out my reads for the weekend and what I'm going to bring with me. For sure, going to bring my Kindle. I always love having my Kindle with me for the plane. On my Kindle, I'm reading Priestess for a book club that I have when I get back. It's a little bit of a longer book. It's a fantasy romance, and I'm really enjoying it so far. And then, as far as my physical reads go, I was torn between Royal Assassin by Robin Hobb, which is a little chunkier but higher up on my priority list to finish, and Evenings and Weekends. This one is obviously shorter. It's a more summery read. It takes place during a heat wave in the city, but I'm not loving this one as much as I want to be so far. So I think I'm going to keep this one at home and in the meantime place a hold at my library for the audiobook so I can do a little bit of a tandem. So I think I'm going to go with Royal Assassin and my Kindle read, and then if I want an audiobook, I have the next Veronica Speedwell checked out, as well as a couple of nonfiction, but I probably won't start a new audiobook. I'm really tempted to bring a book that my dear friend Andy gave to me. She is a bookseller and she was at a booksellers conference in Atlanta a few weekends ago, and she got an arc of Cursed Daughters by Onikon Braithwaite, and I loved My Sister the Serial Killer, and I'm really excited to have an arc of this because I loved that book so much. So I'm tempted to bring this, but I know that it's not responsible to start a million books to be in the middle of, and I really, really want to finish Royal Assassin because I'm loving it so much and I want to keep moving forward in the story. So as much as I'm tempted in my little mood reader heart to bring this with me, I think I'm going to leave Cursed Daughters at home, and I'll get to start it as a reward if I finish or make good progress in Royal Assassin. But this is a little behind the scenes of my less pretty, less stylized bookshelf with a lot more of my physical TBR, as well as some books I'm borrowing from friends and some childhood reads on the bottom. Peep that Warriors Cat series. I don't even know if it's in frame. So this is a little sneak peek into my second bookshelf. But yeah, I'll take you with me as we explore Philly and I do some reading this weekend and keep you updated on how my books are going. I'm coming to you live from day 2 in Philly. Today is the day of the wedding, but it's not until a little bit later, so Kenny and I are going to go into the city a little bit and explore. Right now, he's just working out in the hotel gym, so I'm going to take some time to read. But it's been a good trip so far. We got in Saturday around noon and headed over to our hotel to unwind, and then we went and grabbed lunch. We got some Italian food. It was very yummy. And where we picked for lunch ended up being right next door to a board game cafe. So we kind of spontaneously popped into that, played a couple games, which was super fun, and then met up with the bride and her friends and family for some welcome drinks the night before the wedding. So that was a really sweet day. It was cool to see a little bit of the city. In terms of any reading updates, I knocked out probably about 50 pages of Royal Assassin on the plane, which was pretty good. Really loving this story. Without getting into too many spoilers, I'm so concerned about how things are going to go with Night Eyes. That won't spoil anything in book one because you don't know who Night Eyes is. But it's making me nervous. Making me nervous. We booked a hotel closer to the venue. We didn't realize we were so far from the downtown. We're about a 30 to 40-minute Uber ride. So that's not ideal for my wallet, but that is ideal for audiobook time. So I've been bringing my AirPods with me and just popping those in. And I've been listening to more of a perilous, a poisonous encounter. Number 4 in Veronica Speedwell. I definitely didn't get that title right. But I'm so enjoying it. The tension between Veronica and Stoker is so good. I read books like this and I'm like, oh, this is why people read romance books, is like because you like this feeling of like, oh, well, they won't they? I'm really liking the setting for this one. It takes place on an island with some really cool gardens and mystery. And I'm very curious to see, you know, who's going to be responsible for the mystery they're investigating, which of these cast of characters. And yeah, I'm enjoying it. I read like 3 pages of Priestess and then I started talking to one of my Uber drivers, so I didn't get too far with that one. But that's kind of my reading check in. I think I'm going to read more of Royal Assassin. I do have to make a confession. I did bring Cursed Daughters with me anyway as motivation. Because if I finish one of my other books by the time we get on the plane ride home, then I can start this. When I'm going to finish those because I'm going to a literal wedding tonight, I don't know. But I just wanted to have it with me. I think I just like having an arc of an anticipated read because normally the arcs that I get from my friend are just like really random but still sound cool. I think I just wanted her with me. I wanted to bring her with me on my trip. Oh, and we did pop in to a used bookstore yesterday. That was really cute. I didn't get anything. I just kind of looked around, but they did have Bunnicula and the first Spiderwick Chronicles book, which I never read either, but they feel so nostalgic seeing them. And I pointed out to Kenny, I was like, they have Bunnicula. And he was like, never heard of that. I'm like, you haven't heard of Bunnicula? And he's like, is that Dracula and a bunny? And I'm like, well, yes. And yeah, that's kind of been our day. I think today we're going to check out Reading Terminal Market in Philly. It's kind of like a farmer's market. So we're going to go and get some coffee and pastries and then just kind of walk around the historic area. I do have to admit that Kenny texted me and he was like, oh, my sister recommended the reading market. And I was like, oh my gosh, a whole market for reading. And then I Googled it and I texted him back. I was like, this has nothing to do with books. And he was like, yeah, I know it's a farmer's market. And I was like, well, why didn't you tell me? And he was like, I did tell you it was a farmer's market on the phone. So that's on me for being single minded. But enough yapping. I'm going to get into some reading. The Windy City. City of Angels. Big Apple. Isn't it from that Hamilton song?
What am I looking at?